here's what you're going to be looking at first. You're going to write on this for 1 minute. Let me explain the directions of what you should be looking for. Directions, please. Mariah, could you read the bold section?
What are the differences between the first piece of evidence and the second piece of evidence in each section? What types of words do you see in the first versus the second?
Okay, so first piece of evidence, second piece of evidence, first piece of evidence, second piece of evidence. Two separate sets for you to look at. Answer these two questions in writing on your paper. Please take a minute to do that now.
I'm sorry. What do we notice, Anaya?
I noticed that like in the first piece of evidence, it's not as persuasive or like, to me, I found it unnecessary. It's like when you hold a conversation with someone, then that's how you talk. But like on the second piece of evidence, it's like you're trying to make that argument. You proving why you stand what you think.
Okay. Could someone please build off of Anaya's answer? Ebony, could you do that, please?
I said the first piece of evidence was like really vague. It didn't tell them. It didn't say what they really did. But the second piece of evidence was more explanatory. It said what they did and how they felt about it.
Okay. More explanatory. What else do we notice differences between first and second? Kayla, and then we'll do a little Kayla train here.
The first piece of evidence was like just an assumption, like wasn't really explaining.
Okay. Kayla?
Yes. Okay, so the first one was I got the feeling of, it was like a biased opinion because it talks about that person individually, it talks about people in general. And the second one was more assertive because it's like, it was unbiased, like it's not I myself, it was first and second person that did it for me.
Okay. There are specific types of words that we see in the second piece of evidence that you won't see in the first. And these are really crucial for us to find. What types of words, and think about what types of nouns do you see in the second piece of evidence you don't see in the first? Mira?
Person's name.
Yeah, person's name, and what type of noun is that when you see someone's name? Taylor?
Proper name.
Yeah. Simple, but crucial here. This is, like, very simple. This is what takes you to the next level with your evidence. Need to have proper nouns. This is a proper noun as well. It's just an acronym for, like, I don't know, I don't even remember what the acronym is for, because that was probably a terrible example. But it's the group that does the dogs and the cat shelter. Maybe for, I don't know.
People awareness.
Yeah, maybe that's not it, but maybe. Alright. So this is what you need to think about. You want to utilize evidence with proper nouns rather than just hypothetical examples. If you look back to the first one again, I'm going to give you time to write it down, so chill out. If you look back to the first one, a student could do community service and learn more about themselves. What makes that hypothetical? What does hypothetical mean? We've said it a bunch, but what does it actually mean? Janaea?
The definition of hypothetical is like based off of past experience or things you form something that you predict will happen in the future.
Other thoughts? Mira and then Skylar?
Something that
Something that could happen, Skylar?
Isn't hypothetical or yeah, it's something that could happen.
Something that could happen?
Yeah.
Which definition do we agree with? The first one or the second one? Naya, explain.
I agree with the second one because it's like a if-then situation. Like, if it happens, then this will happen. It didn't happen yet because you would have said that it happened. So it's a possibility.
Possibility, I agree. One last thing to add.
So isn't a hypothetical when you ask a general question that can be implemented into a certain situation but doesn't involve real people or real things?
Because it's a possibility. Yeah. So you're talking about a hypothetical question. So I'm like, oh, hypothetically, what happens if I were to not turn in my homework today? What might happen? I did it, but hypothetically, I'm just interested.
Oh, that was
It's a
Maya.
possibility, but this is like the favorite AP joke. Like, oh, what would happen if I didn't turn it in? Oh, I have it, but I was just wondering. You're nerds.
What?
You're nerds.
Nerd is not true. It's not true.
Believe me, it is.
The picture of a nerd has changed over the years.
And it's good. Good to be a nerd, so am I. Alright. This is what we want to focus on doing. If you don't have this, I would box this. Push yourself to utilize evidence with proper nouns rather than just hypothetical examples. Alright. When you are done writing that down, I'd like you to reflect at your table, so talk with your partners. Why do you think in the past you have done more hypothetical examples than proper noun examples? Reflect on that with your group when you're done writing. We'll come back together in a minute. Well, that's my question. Why in the past have you done more hypothetical than concrete examples? Tissue? Oh yeah, this is out. Can you grab that one?
That was what it wasn't sealed in my feet.
It's empty, so
First 3 years.
you keep it. What? That's what this is still. Who said you should use hypothetical examples? I don't know if Did you start the timer or did you just start it now? Good work. I'm so glad next year you started. Alright. Come back up here, please. No, it's not 30 seconds. It's over now. Alright. Come back up here, please. Let's hear some reflections for why we think this has happened in the past in your writing. Let's take 3, Kayla, Santrell, Mira.
Okay. My group and I said maybe because like in the past teachers told us don't use yourself like you or I, so we say hypothetically this might happen, so we won't fool ourselves.
Potentially, Santrell.
Another reason we were talking about my group was for like explanation purposes. If you can explain and elaborate more on hypothetical situations than you can directly facts with the explanation.
So it's easier, you're saying, because you can argue more stuff even if you don't actually have an example for it.
Yes.
Mira?
I kind of feel like that was more natural.
Might be more natural. Say more why.
Like, no, I think like you think of factual
Yeah. This is what I'm taking out of this is like, it is harder to come up with concrete proper noun evidence. But it makes your argument much better to have concrete evidence. If you're just hypothetically arguing, not going to be nearly as effective as if you have concrete evidence. Could you give me just like a 1-sentence answer of why concrete evidence is more effective than hypothetical? Anaya seems ready back there. What you got?
It's better to use it's better to use concrete evidence because it's more legit.
Because
because you can like it's legit. You know it's for real. Like you know what you're talking about.
It builds the author's what? What's the word on the tip of our tongues?
Credibility.
Credentials or
Credibility.
Because I'm using evidence that actually exists, not saying like, well, just imagine this happened. Then it'd be like, well, did it? I don't know. It's legitimate because it is real. Okay. So we're going to practice that today. We have to go through step 1, though, which is our prompt deconstruction. You have a prompt in front of you. Take a look at that prompt. There are some steps you should go through when you deconstruct this prompt. Someone help refresh my memory on what are the steps I should take if I were to deconstruct a prompt. Yes, Miss Irby.
Well, first, you have to read the prompt. Then you have to circle the word you don't know.
Circle words you don't know, and then what else, Miss?
Then you have to.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Then you have to break down the prompt by paraphrasing. Paraphrasing.
Destiny Tucker, could you help her with the word she's trying to say, please? Yeah, you're going to want to paraphrase the prompt task, and what else are you going to want to paraphrase? Mira Sanders. The quotation that could be presented to you. Janaea.
And you find what the prompt is actually asking you to do.
Yeah, and that's part of your paraphrase of the prompt task. I would like you to take 3 minutes and make sure you do those steps with this prompt right now. This is by yourself. Are you setting the timer this time?
Yes.
All right. 3 minutes. Let's get that done. What? What? His name is H.L. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to have some lovely people model some potential paraphrases that you could have chosen, and we're going to dissect what we like about them, what we don't, and fix them. Yeah, you can put it up there. So please make sure you leave some room so other people can write. You're not going to go up there, right? They just all three need to be out there. While they're doing that, let's focus up here. You don't need to focus on what they're writing yet. What were some of the key words that we had to circle that we need to be sure that we're looking at in this prompt? Whether you knew them already or you didn't, what were those key words? Central, let's start with you.
We used the word free, but I think it needs to be identified.
Yeah. Free is one of the major pieces. What is the other opposite to free in this prompt? Yes, Kayla?
Safe.
Free or safe. Yeah, these are the two things that are being set up with each other. A couple other words that were real important for our understanding of this prompt. What else, Clea? Contemporary society. When you hear about contemporary society, what do you think? Yeah. Don't know yet. Could someone help her what contemporary is? We said that we would see this again, and I was not lying, because here it is. What do we think when we see contemporary society? Is modern? I would think modern, I would think today, now. What else is another key word that we've talked about before that we need to think about? Taylor? Support. That should help you figure out you need to use what? Evidence that has what type of nouns?
Proper.
Yep. What else besides support? Bledsoe?
Extent.
Extent. Yeah. What word should we think about, or what phrase should we think about when we hear extent? Yes. Ebony? Length. Length is one way to think about it. The question that you would ask yourself, or what were you going to say, Mariah? When I say to what extent do you agree or disagree, I'm asking Santrell?
Like how much?
How much do you agree or disagree? How much does Mencken's assertion apply to today? It could completely, it could not at all, it could somewhere in between. And you'd want to explain where in between. Okay. We see these three lovely paraphrases. Let's take a second in your group, more than a second, you're going to take 45 seconds in your group, to read all three and think about what's good about each one. What would you want to add if you were this student to each one? Because I picked these because they all did some things well and all had some pieces missing that I would want to add. So take 45 seconds with your group, discuss each one of these topics. You need a group.
That's it. That's credential. Okay. Safe is the best.
But to be safe.
But to be
I think she would like that. But she is just the way. Like she
Yes.
First of all, it wouldn't hurt. Second of all,
We're not voting anyone off yet. Alright. So we're not making this analysis of these paraphrases about the person. We're looking at each analysis, and remember, each analysis here or paraphrase needs a little something else, but also does some things really well. So let's start with the one on the left. First, what do we see in there that we really like that's going to help this person write a strong essay? Let's talk to my girl Crystal over there. What's something you like in that first paraphrase that's like, I'm